Today, we're going to do an incredible makeover of the half-size composition books. Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Wait until you see what we do to this. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel, friends. I am so glad that you're here today. Whether you're new or you've been with me for a while, thank you for coming back today. I truly appreciate it. You picked a great day to stop by because we're going to take those half-size composition books and we are going to do something absolutely out of this world fabulous with them. Now, I purchased these at Walmart here in the US, but if you don't have access to a Walmart, check Amazon, because I did check Amazon here in the US and they have half-size composition books. I will have the ones that I found linked in the description box below for those of you who want to do some half-size composition book projects. If you don't want to do half sizes, you can take the process that I'm going to demo today and do it with the full-size composition books. But today we're working with half size, so that means I am going to flip to my overhead camera so that I can give you a closer look at what I'm talking about. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, y'all, so here's the half-size composition book that we're going to be working with. And like I said, I got this from Walmart. But check my description box because I'll have some linked that I did find on Amazon. So when finished, the composition books that I have are approximately 4 3/4 by 7 1/4. And when you look at them, they're probably, when they end up looking like this, maybe about 1/2 inch deep. There are 100 sheets in here, front and back, so you actually have 200 places on which you can write your fabulous notes. Or if you're making this for a friend or you're making it to sell, let me show you how you can do it. So here is the composition book and here's what we're doing to it. So I have this elastic band on the outside. So I'll show you how easy it is to make this and then just attach it to your book. But what we have here is we have a chipboard outside. Now if you don't have chipboard, you can use cereal boxes, shoe boxes. You can even use cardboard if that's what you want to try. But I am using my medium weight chipboard on this, and y'all please make sure you're checking my Amazon storefront link in the description box below. I will have some of the products that I use all the time, especially, listed in the description box under my Amazon storefront link. So when you open this, what I've done is I just added a little bit of cutesy to it. I put a pocket over here using an envelope that I made. And you can see the envelope there. You can tuck in here. Or like right here, I added these tags so that you can see that you have a tuckable spot here as well. Now, if you want to add a pin to yours, just make your spine a little bit wider and then put in one of the pin grips from the Dollar Tree or that you've ordered online. I'm not adding a pin to this one, but you can certainly add a pin just by increasing the width of the spine by 1/2 inch. So then what I have here is I have my notebook, and this notebook folio is refillable. So once this one has been used, you can slide it out and put another one in its place, and we slide it out. And you can see where I have my slider here, and we just slide the fresh one in. Isn't that just a beautiful presentation? I'm going to open it so that you can see what I've done on the inside. I have a little tuckable spot here. And then I added some tabs. For those of you who haven't seen this part of the process, we'll walk you through that as well. And then here in the middle, I have a nice little folder. So when we open it, we have a pocket here and a pocket here. So we have 2 places where we can tuck. I didn't put anything on the back page because this is my slider page and I wanted to keep it pretty clean and neat. So I'm going to take this and we are going to slide it back inside of our notebook because I have something that I want to show you, and it is a magnetic placeholder or magnetic bookmark. And you're going to be amazed at what I used to make this because we are repurposing something that came in something else that we were using. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to use this. So let's say this is the page that you want to mark. You just put it in and you can hear it click. Or if you don't want to use the magnetic bookmark, you can always create your elastic band so that it can close your book like this, or it can hold your place in the book as well. Y'all, this is a super fabulous project. Very, very easy to do. We're going to do it using 6 pieces of 8.5 by 11. So you can pull out your favorite 6 pieces of 8.5 by 11 and you can work this project along with me. So the first thing we'll be doing is making the chipboard jacket, and we have 2 pieces of chipboard that measure 5 by 7 3/4 and 1 piece that measures 5 by 1. Now if you want to add a pin loop or one of those pin grips, go ahead and cut your spine at 5 by 1 1/2. That'll give you the additional room you need to be able to attach one of the pin grips. So I also have 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11. This is a text weight paper that I'm using. By text weight, I mean it's light enough to run through your printer very easily. This particular paper here is the consistency of copier paper. So I'm going to set this to the side for just a moment, and we're going to peel away the tape backers from our chipboard pieces. And then we're going to take these 2 pieces and join them together. Now, if you have a printer that will print 11 by 17, that is a great size paper to start out with on this. But if you don't, here's how we can get the longer paper that we need. Now, this paper, as well as the pink paper that I used on the first book, will be available on my website for those of you who are interested. It will be available for digital download. So now that we have our one long sheet, what we're going to do is we're going to take one piece, place it here, take this piece, place it here with about 1/8 of an inch in between, and then we're going to take this piece and place it down here. And we want to make sure we're placing it like this because we want that seam where we join the papers to be on the back of the chipboard. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this piece, put it down right there, take this piece, put it down right here with about 1/8 of an inch spacing in between, and then we'll take this piece, put it right here with about 1/8 of an inch spacing in between. Then I'm going to take my finger blade and just remove some of the excess. And we will just cut off this excess as well as this excess. So now we can stand this up and we can train the sides to fold over because we do need to miter these ends. But what I want to show you is that here on the back, you can see the seam. You want that seam on the back and not on the front if you're joining papers together. So now we can miter. And when I'm mitering, I am just cutting across like this, and I'm leaving a little bit of space in between here and there. For those of you who have the 5-in-1 tool, you know that that tool is great for helping to get those mitered corners the way that you want them. So now I'm going to bring in my tape runner, and I'm going to use my tape runner to place down my edge pieces. These will be sandwiched in between chipboard as well as the liner piece, so I can get away with using my tape runner for this. So I am just going to fold over, let's fold over here as well as here. Here. And now now I'll bring in my big old spatula to make sure that I have my pieces nice and stuck. And if you find that you have some pointy ends, just take it, stand it up, and tap it into your workstation. Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful cover? So now that we have this piece, I'm going to bring in my other papers. Now remember I said I have 6 pages here. Don't know if I'll need all 6, but we're going to grab another piece of the 8.5 by 11. This one is single-sided, and what I'll be doing is putting it down on the inside for the inside liner. Now I'll be able to get both pieces of the inside liner from one sheet because I'll be able to cut this at 4 3/4 by 8.5. So I cut it at 4 3/4 because this is 5 inches tall and I always reduce it by 1/4 of an inch. So instead of cutting this at 5 by 8.5, I cut it at 4 3/4 by 8.5. So now I'm just going to take some tape and we're going to place our tape down to cover the chipboard. Then I'll take my tape and we'll go around the outer edges of the inside liner piece, and then we'll be able to peel away the tape backers and join the liner to the jacket. And then on the second half of this, I am just going to add some extra tape here on the inside because this will overlap and I want to make sure that it stays flat. So what we're going to do is I'm going to peel away my tape backers, and then I'll peel away the tape backer from that first piece that I covered the edges on. We're going to take this piece and we're going to put it down like this. Then I'll do the same thing with this piece. I'll remove the tape backers. Remember, I added just a little bit of extra tape in here. So now I'm going to take this piece, and the extra tape is on this side because it will overlap here. So I am just going to take it and put my piece down like that. And now I'll just start working my spine. And doesn't this just remind you of autumn, the colors? So I think my embellishments, I think I might go with an autumn feel to this. All right, so now that we have the jacket made, we're going to go ahead and cover the composition book, or the half-size composition book. And I have 2 pieces that I have cut down to 7 by 5. And we're just going to put them on like this. So I am just going to take some tape, and we're going to put tape on the back of both pieces. And once we have the tape on, we're going to remove the tape backers and we will add these to the covers. All right, so I have removed my tape backers from both the front and the back, and I think I'll go with it like this. So all I'm going to do is take this piece and I am going to try to get it even on the side here and even along the top. Not perfect, but it will do. So I'm going to trim away the excess. And so there is the front. Let's do the back. So I'll do the same thing on the back. I'm just going to take this, and what I'm trying to do is line it up with the edge here and the top edge here. So now I'll open it, trim away the excess. And so there is our little book. I am going to go ahead and cover the inside, and I'm just going to take this piece and cover the inside. So we're going to trim a piece down to 7 1/4 by 4 3/4. And when I put this in, I'm not going to put it in all the way over to where the paper is. I want to leave some space just in case I have some tape overhang. It won't catch the paper. So I'm just going to take this and put it down like this. So I'm going to take this and starting over here, I am just going to put it down. Then I'm going to take a piece of my scrap and we're going to create a nice little pocket. So I am just going to trim off a little bit of this, and then I'll trim this way, and now I have a pocket that I will put right here. So I'll take my glue, put some glue down this side as well as this side. We'll take our pocket, put the pocket right there. And now we have a sweet little pocket on the inside. Now we need to make it so that this is refillable. So I have several scrap pieces, and we're just going to take a piece of scrap, put it in like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have it all the way at the top. I'm going to fold over just a little bit, and I want to make sure that I have a little extra space between the side here and this fold over. Then I'll do the same thing over here. So you just want to make sure that you will be able to slide your book in and out, because we're going to take this and we're going to place it right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the back of my book, put this back on, then I can decide where I want this. And so I think we're going to put it right here. So I'll just lift up, add my glue, add some glue over here. Now I can take this and we're just going to put it down. I want to make sure that it's not hanging over the edge and that I can close it easily, and I can. So now I can remove this. So there is that part. So now I'm just going to take my punch and we're going to punch out just a few tabs. You don't have to do yours this way. You don't even have to add tabs to yours if you don't want to. So I am going to take some of my tape, put the tape there, open this piece, add a tab right there, open another section, add some tape, add a tab there, and then we're going to add just one more tab. And we'll put that tab right there. I absolutely love how this is turning out. So now we can take it, we can put it in like this, completely refillable. All right, so now we're going to make the pocket to go on the inside, and I have a piece that's double-sided, and it measures 8.5 by 11. So on the 11-inch side, we're going to score at 5.5. Then we're going to rotate it to the 8.5-inch side, and let's score at 3 and at 7.5. Then we're going to fold and burnish our scores. Then we'll fold it, and right here where we have this score mark here, we are just going to angle in as we cut down like this. And then here at the top, we'll do the same thing on this little one, angle in as you cut. Then when you open it, this is what you have. So I am going to take my tape runner here at the top, add some tape, fold over, add some tape, and fold over. So now we can take this pocket piece and this pocket piece and fold up. So I am going to add just a little bit of glue along the edge. Add a little glue over here. Fold up. Now we'll just get this nice and stuck. And here is our pocket. We're going to go ahead and open the notebook to the center section. And y'all, this is going to be very easy. All I'm going to do is just take some glue, a very thin bead of glue, and I'm running it along the fold. And you can see that I really don't have glue on the side, and where I do, I'll just move it out of my way. Now I'm going to take this, and all we're going to do is we're just going to place it inside here. So I'm just going to take it, put it right in the middle. If you want, you can staple this in. I have always glued it, and I have always had great success with it staying in place. I've never had one to come undone. If you see that there's any glue seeping out, you can just take a paper towel and wipe it away. So all I have to do is hold this in place for just a little bit until it sets, and then we can move on to the next part of the project. All right, so while that's drying, I am going to show you a super easy way to make your elastic band. Very easy. We aren't going to attach it to the book. We're simply going to make the band by putting some glue on. I have about 7 inches of elastic, and I have folded it over like this. Then I'll just take my clip and leave that clip on until this hardens. Now I already have one ready to go, so we'll be able to use this one on the book in just a minute. But I still have my pocket in place drying right here. While that is drying, I have this piece, and it is scrap, probably about 3.5 by 8.5. So I folded it like this. Then I'm going to fold it over here. Take my scissors and round here. Then I'm going to take just a little bit of glue, not a lot, just a little bit, and run it along the sides here. This envelope isn't meant to hold a lot. I have a little piece of Velcro that I'm going to put right there. And we'll fold over, and that'll give us a very simple envelope. So now I'm just going to bring this in. I will let it dry some more, but you can see that it is in place. Let's go ahead and close that. I'm going to take this out for just a minute, put this on top. Now we're going to take our pocket, and I'm going to put the pocket right here. When I put it down, I'm going to take my glue, place my glue along this edge, and my glue along this edge, as well as the top. Now I'll be able to take this, put it down right here. Let's get it nice and stuck. And then over here, we'll have that little opening that we can tuck in certain items. So y'all, we are pretty much finished with our little book, except we're going to do some decorating because I want to turn this into a beautiful fall themed notebook because that's what it reminds me of. So I have some autumn ephemera, and I'm going to take this one, and it says happy fall, y'all. That's going to be for the cover of this whole project. So I'm just going to put down some glue. We're going to take this piece and put it right there, and it just falls right into line with fall. So now I'm going to open this, and I'm just going to take some of my pieces of ephemera and stickers, and we're just going to create something sweet and beautiful. Take this little sticker here that says welcome autumn, and I noticed that my little envelope pocket here is crooked. I'm just going to have to leave it because I can't do anything about it, and I really don't want to do anything about it. So I'm going to take these little pumpkins and put them right there. I'm going to take this one, and it says happy fall, y'all, but I really do like fall, so we're going to put that in there. I'm going to take our little scarecrow girl right back in there. Now we have our pocket. I am going to take this piece and put it there. Put that right there. And then I'm going to take this sticker and we're going to put it right there in the corner. Now I can open these. Put this sticker right there. Take our fall blessing sticker, put it right there. And y'all, everything that I'm doing, it really is very simple. I'm just taking some stickers and pieces of ephemera and doing some very light decorating. Take this, put it here. Take these pumpkins, put them underneath the tree, and take this little sign that says pumpkins and point it right there. Then on the back, I think I'm going to put this piece of ephemera that says I love fall days. So let's just go ahead and add some glue. Take this piece, put it right there. And now we can take the little elastic band, we can put it around like this. So there we have it. We took another half composition book and we turned it into something absolutely fabulous. It is now refillable. We have a place for tags. You have a little pocket here that you can tuck. We have this beautiful, beautiful mini composition book, complete with tabs, complete with a pocket here and an internal pocket set here. Such a gorgeous way to dress this up. Then we can take it and we can put it back inside when we want to use it. And we can take that piece of elastic that we turned into a band and wrap it around just like this. Y'all, these are perfect as gifts to sell or to keep. If you're doing a craft fair, especially if you're doing one for autumn or winter, try doing something like this in different paper types, not just all fall and not just all Christmas. Try doing different types of paper because I think you'll be amazed at the response you might get from the people who visit your booth. But aren't these just absolutely adorable? I haven't really decorated this one much, but I think I'm inspired to go back and do that. But look at this. Look at how gorgeous these are. And y'all, they used to be half composition books. Do they look like half composition books now? No, they don't. Like I said, we take the inexpensive and we make it look like $1,000,000. Here you go. So I hope that you have enjoyed today's super awesome tutorial on how you can take a half composition book and create a refillable note station. If you have, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, more than ever, please be safe, be kind, and be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.